Biden's inauguration in America, in case you're wondering, has it caused anything on the right wing? Has it caused any upset? No. The Malkin is back, and she has got some comments on Biden's inauguration.
We are in the midst of the greatest media gaslighting campaign in modern American history. Just surf the Silicon Valley-controlled news headlines. Story after story breathlessly warning of the reign of right-wing terrorism. What's fueling the growth of right-wing terrorism? That's CNN. Global right-wing extremism networks are growing, the Soros-funded ProPublica website warns. Right-wing menace will now be a regular feature of American politics, the Washington Post declares. As you all know, 25,000 National Guard troops were dispatched to quell all this alleged rise in right-wing extremism. In a melodramatic act of kabuki theater, Democrats turned D.C. into a militarized bubble zone more heavily fortified than the Baghdad Green Zone. And yes, I know, I was in Iraq's Green Zone in 2007. But it wasn't Trump supporters who wrought havoc and incited hatred and perpetrated violence this inauguration week. No, it was the same old Antifa and Black Lives Matter rioters who've terrorized our country for the past 4 years without a peep of worry from the concerned trolls at CNN, ProPublica, and the Washington Post. Their anarchist banners, decorated with rifles, demanded revenge against police. In Seattle, the Antifa stormtroopers, yes, that's what they are, also took to the streets, smashing, trashing, looting, and burning everything in sight, including the iconic original Starbucks downtown. The rioters targeted police, federal courthouse workers, and federal ICE agents. They tossed rocks at journalists, they shut down traffic, and they rampaged the streets with impunity as usual.
We made sure we kept our distance because this group was so volatile and unpredictable. I mean, just look at how they smashed up this federal courthouse. Now, there were only about 50 or 60 of them, but for a short time, they seemed to have the run of the city.
Vandals spent extra time at this building where Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, has one of its offices. On the street out front, they burned a flag and littered the roadway with newspaper racks, rental bicycles, and construction barricades to disrupt traffic as people headed through downtown Seattle during the evening commute.
So where are all the Democrat leaders who suddenly discovered this newfound respect for police and the troops after the January 6th protest in D.C.? Oh, and where are all the FBI billboards seeking information on the Black Bloc insurrectionists? In every city now across the heartland, the FBI is hunting down every last Trump supporter who showed up at the Capitol on January 6th. The feds are urging Americans to snitch on conservatives in the name of public safety and national security.
The FBI out of Albany expects more arrests in the region and is asking for local leads using a billboard along I-690, one of thousands of similar billboards up across the country.
A new digital billboard in southern Indiana is encouraging people to report tips about the deadly Capitol riot last week. It sits off I-265. The FBI has already opened hundreds of criminal cases into what sparked a large group to storm the Capitol while Congress was certifying the Electoral College votes. Federal investigators have been using social media to post pictures of people who were allegedly involved as they try to find more information about those responsible.
Thousands of those billboards. The FBI praised the private outdoor advertisers for their swift cooperation.
The outdoor advertisers' willingness to assist in bringing these criminals to justice, as well as the speed in which they are able to publicize crucial public safety information, is a credit to those organizations.
Of course, none of those companies would dare to partner with the feds to hunt down violent Antifa and Black Lives Matter militants, lest they be doxxed, deplatformed, and destroyed by the true menaces to American society.
The true menaces to American society. Well, what you've got to realise here is she's the true menace to American society, and what you, Paul, we're talking about with a news channel.
GB News And News UK, that could be, well, they call it Newsweek over in the States.
Who would it be? Who would it be?
Lies and lies.
I'm going to throw a person out now that could be a presenter on one of these.
Go
on. Katie Hopkins.
She could well be a presenter on one of these.
And that's who you'd end up with on TV, mainstream, no escape, and also be on a platform where you think that you've actually got to listen to this stupid
and
woman.
obviously, Mr. Farage.
Of course, he'd be on it as well, and this is what you'd end up with. So you've had that response there, but Trump has not gone away, and Trump has actually decided that now is the time to open his office of operations and get on with what he's got planned.
And new this morning, former President Donald Trump's office has announced the formation of the Office of the Former President. The release sent to us said the office will handle Trump's correspondence, public statements, appearances, and official activities to, quote, advance the interests of the United States and to carry on the agenda of the Trump administration through advocacy, organizing, and public activism, end quote. The statement ended saying President Trump will always and forever be a champion for the American people, end quote.
So the champion of the American people has got his office.
Yep.
And he's ready.
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go for his 2024 run.
There's talk about another party. Is he still going to be part of the Republicans?
There was a party formed this week called the Patriots.
Yep.
And they formed it. And it was all the people that were, a lot of people that were involved in the Capitol riots. They formed the Patriots and then got in touch with Donald Trump and his people and went, we formed this party for you, and wanted him to assume the head of it. Yeah. And he said no.
So far.
No, he said no because he's still got the Republican Party. Why would you have that? Why would you take over something like that? It's the same as when Momentum took over Labour. Why didn't they run as Momentum? Well, no, Labour's a brand. They had that, the same as all these other people.
We shall see. I think there's still something left in that. If it goes all wrong at some stage, he will jump on it.
You never know. Thank you for watching. I'm impressed. You've passed the IQ test and got this far, so let's press that button to do the last thing that helps us. It's got subscribe on it, you can't miss it, and please ring the bell for notifications of future videos.